Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that I'm making, please click that subscribe button. Also remember to click that bell button and make sure to tick that box to send all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. With that in mind, let's get on with the video. What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome to my video guide on the hardest fight in Rydia's Lost Chapter, Overcoming Sadness, Part 15, Hard Mode. Without further ado, let's start this video. Now, as always, we will start off with the weaknesses, resistances, and the abilities of the last boss, which is called the Prominence. It is weak to the water element and has resistance to the fire element. Now, depending on its size, it may change its attacks. Now, I will go through that with you guys here in its abilities section. Basically, it has Launch, which is a melee HP attack. It has Magma Wave, which is a group HP magic attack after increasing its Brave based on its max Brave. Next, it has Swell. This is basically what changes its size to 1, 2, 3, or 4. Basically, each turn it will use Swell at the end of its turn and grow one size. This basically increases attack, defense, and max Brave for each time it is used. Next, it has Shrink, of course. This is used when afflicted with a break when it's at size 4 or after using the move Big Bang. This will reduce its attack, defense, and max Brave back to its normal stats, I suppose. And finally, it has Summon, which summons Small Prominence. Now let's take a look at the different abilities that it will have depending on its size. Now for size 1, it only has Fire, which is a Fire Brave magic attack, and Fire Breath, which is a group Fire Brave magic attack. Now on size 2, it will have Fire, which is a higher version of the Fire Brave magic attack, and Fire Storm, which is a group Fire Brave magic attack as well. Now on size 3, it will have the Firaga version, which is the Fire Brave magic attack, Meteor, which is a group Fire Brave magic attack, Prominence, which is a group Fire Brave magic attack plus an HP attack. Then it has Flambeau, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it is a Fire Brave magic attack plus an HP attack. And finally, on size 4, it has Big Bang, which increases its Brave based on its max Brave, and it will do a group HP magic attack. Now, it's important to know that it can still use Magma Wave or Lunge at any given time. However, it may be more inclined to use the other abilities that it will have depending on its size. Now, the Prominence also has an immunity to 2 debuffs, which are Attack Down and Magic Attack Down, and this is applied obviously throughout the fight. It's not size dependent, it will always be there. Alright, let's take a look at some general tips and guide this time around, now that we know the weaknesses, the resistances, and the abilities of the boss. The first one, as always, is to save about 60% of your abilities for the boss. Honestly, this probably will only apply if you are sort of carrying Rydia with you, just like what you see in this video. I sort of just like played along with it. I honestly could have made a better team, but this is what I had from like normal all the way to the end. Granted, I didn't get the high score with this team, but still, just save about that amount of abilities and you should be able to clear it. Next up is to bring in the boosted characters. In this case, it's Rydia, Yang, and Shadow. Now, I am probably not the only one that will say this, but Yang and Shadow aren't exactly the greatest backup for Rydia here, so you may want to bring someone else if you don't really have them, or even if you have them, there are an abundance of characters that you can bring, and those are Quistis, Cloud, Furion, Golbez, the twins, Lon and Rain, Agrias, Bart, Freya, Squall, Rosa, Celeste, Lael, Kuja. Even Kuja makes it to the party because he has AoE damage. Then you got Freya, you got Lightning, Rinoa, Kefka, or Zac. You can also add Sephiroth there if you want. And of course you can add Vayne there, as I actually forgot to put him there, I don't know why, but you can definitely add Vayne in there. As for the healer / brave battery option, then as always you will have the option between Rem, Selphie, Maria, Eiko, Lena, or Kate Sith. And of course, for your summon, unfortunately it's not going to be Ifrit as always, it's going to be Shiva. Alright, so now let's take a look at some general tips for the fight itself. As always, for the support, I would advise you to bring Quistis in this one. You can definitely bring any other support, but Quistis is probably the best one here since she can delay the Prominence, so it won't use its swell ability and therefore it will have a weaker defense. Therefore you can quickly bring it down and quickly kill it before it even gets to the point where its size will go up to 4 and use the Big Bang attack. The next one is to bring in the AoE or splash damage characters to get rid of the small prominence if it even gets to that stage. Man, that was so hard to say. But a lot of the waves here are group waves. Even the third wave is the Lamia with some mannequins, so you may as well bring in that splash damage and get rid of them all as quick as possible. Squall with his rework is probably one of the best ones here. The twins as well, pretty good here as well. The next one, bring a debuffer. It's not necessary, but with the defense down, it may help you break the Prominence since it will have stat boost every time it swells up. And this is pretty important for the next tip, is to make sure to break it at size 4 or you will end up taking some HP damage and therefore lowering your score, just like what happened in the first video. I didn't get Big Bang, but I still got the HP damage, therefore I didn't get the score there. But you know, having that defense down debuff is definitely gonna help to, if you even get to the point where it goes to size 4. Unfortunately, this is probably gonna happen to you if you're a new player, but if you're a veteran player, you'll probably blitz through this lost chapter, to be completely honest with you. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's take a look at some possible party compositions. The first one is going to be the boosted team, which is Rydia, Yang, and Shadow with a Quistis support, and of course Shiva for the summon. Now, I don't actually have my Shadow built up, so I can't say that this team, you know, actually gets the job done, but hopefully it does. I'm not a big fan on both Yang and Shadow, unfortunately. They're just not the best, even if they are boosted in this particular lost chapter. Then the next one is Rinoa, Lena, and Squall. As you may have noticed, I didn't have Rydia here. You can just clear this fight just like any other lost chapter with Rydia, and if you still didn't get the high score, you can just repeat the fight without Lena this time and get your high score. So this is definitely a team that will get you that high score with a Quistis support, of course, and Shiva for the summon. Now the third one I have here is the one that you guys are currently seeing in this video, is the Golbez, Sarah, and Squall with a Quistis support. It's basically a more offensive version of the second team. Obviously Golbez can be replaced with Rinoa, no questions asked, and of course Sarah is the more offensive version of Lena. This is with a Quistis support and the Shiva summon. Now the last one, I honestly feel like you can definitely beat this if you use the Holy Trinity rule, which is a tank, DPS, and a healer with a Quistis support and the Shiva summon. So take your pick in the abundance of characters that we have currently in the DFFOO, the global version. Alright, so we are finally at the end of this video, and I believe this is one of the fastest videos I've ever done in the Lost Chapter. I just feel like this Lost Chapter is pretty easy, guys. This is the lost chapter, I suppose the last character that we have in the level 60 era. So if you can even believe that, she was also the last character in the level 50 era. So poor Rydia just never get the chance to shine as much as the other characters. So hopefully in the level 70 era she gets to shine a little bit more, or gets used a little bit more. But again, because this is the last one for the level 60 era, we have a ton of characters that you can get to level 60 and actually clear this fight very easily. Now if you're a new player, then this is probably going to be a little bit harder on you, and I would suggest to level up some of your characters that I mentioned in the general tips and guides, and you shouldn't have any problem once you get to the level 60, and of course to the level 60 crystal passive. So overall, an easy fight, especially if you have Quistis as your support. So if you're a new player, just get someone with a Quistis, you know, and it's gonna push back the boss so much, and you should have plenty of time to actually kill this boss. Anyway, I think I'll end it right here, even though it's going to be one of the shorter videos, but I think that is fine. Remember to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find this helpful at all. As always, I'd like to hear from you guys. Which team did you use to beat Rydia's Lost Chapter hard mode? Leave it down in the comments below, and tell me if you're excited for the level 70 era, which I do believe is coming next month, or else it'll be pretty boring. Really excited with that, and remember to follow me on Twitter and on Facebook at Munchkins Gaming. This is Munchkins logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.